Hi guys, Dane here and welcome to my October 2024 reading wrap up. Now I only have one book to show you and it's a very weird one. It's also the 9th of October, so I should have read more by now, but anyway.
Dane reads.
This is Classic Treasury Princess Tales, and this is just a collection of princess tales, basically fairy tales involving princesses, separated into different chapters. So we've got some nice illustrations as well. This is Damsels in Distress. I don't actually know what story that is. Let's see, that is The Princess and the Pea. And then we have here like The Princess Who Was Hidden Underground, retold from Andrew Lang's version of a German folktale. Basically, Shay really enjoys it when I read to her before bed, so we've been reading a princess tale before bed each evening. It's a stunning collection. I would give it a solid 4 out of 5. It's perfect for that kind of thing if you want to read bedtime stories to a child. And or an adult. I don't know what's going on down there. Cats, I guess. It's 3 in the morning, so it's kind of spooky to hear spooky noises coming from downstairs. But anyway, Princess Tales, Classic Treasury. Very good, very nice.
Alright everybody, just a couple of books to wrap up for you today. So the first of them, we have Barnaby Rudge by Charles Dickens. 4 out of 5 from me. Just me continuing the slow but sure Dickens read through. I believe it was captioned a Tale of the Riots of 80 or something like that. But yeah, it's just another great Dickens read. This one probably has more social commentary than the last few that I've read. The last few have been more, if you were if Dickens was Graham Greene, he would have his his serious novels and then his entertainments, and the last few have been entertainments. This one I would say is more of a serious novel, even though it is entertaining and still very funny at times. It's definitely got more of a sort of a social purpose. I was surprised by it because it's one of those I don't know too much about. So for example, Barnaby Rudge, you don't hear talked about as much as say the Old Curiosity Shop. But I preferred Barnaby Rudge. In fact, I would have to say it's probably like my 4th favourite Dickens novel. You got Oliver Twist and A Christmas Carol are both obviously sort of toppies. The Barnaby Rudge not far behind it really. Then I read The It Girl by Ruth Ware, and so this is just a thriller essentially. Does that thing that thrillers do where they jump between the past and the present. Works reasonably well here. It's never been a favourite trope of mine, but it does okay. Basically, the plot of this is our main character was at a university in Oxford and her roommate was murdered. And she never really come to terms with it. And so when the guy, thank you Google. So when the guy that her testimony helped to send down as the murderer, he dies in jail still kind of protesting his innocence. And that kind of sparks a reopening of the case in many ways. And we start to discover that maybe all is not exactly as it seemed. The thing with this is that April, the murder victim, not a very nice person. I didn't like her. It's got everyone wanted to be her. Wait, what does it say? Oh yeah, everyone wanted her life, someone wanted her dead. I don't want her life because that would involve being her, and she was a bitch. Obviously she didn't deserve to die. I almost said that, which is not true. Nobody deserves to be murdered. But I'm kind of glad it was her that was murdered as opposed to any of the other characters. But yeah, still good book. I didn't guess who did it. I thought I had, but I had not. I would give it like a weak 4 out of 5. Pretty solid read.
Alrighty folks, just a couple of books to wrap up for you today. So the first is The Hallowe'en Tree by Bradbury, quality science fiction. I would describe this as almost like middle grade, middle grade, young adulty. It's basically a metaphysical journey in which these 7 kids, I think it was 7, maybe 8, a bunch of them anyway, they end up traveling through time, discovering the real meaning of Halloween, according to Ray Bradbury. So they end up in ancient Egypt, the Middle Ages, with the backdrops of the witch trials, all that kind of stuff, all trying to save their friend Pipkin, who's got into some trouble. It's also got some really beautiful illustrations. The only downside is my edition is falling apart, as you can see. But yes, I did enjoy reading it. I picked it up cheap from a charity shop anyway. Probably a strong 4 out of 5 for me. Not necessarily Bradbury's best, but a very interesting book. You don't see many around like this. And then I read Mussolini, His Part in My Downfall by Spike Milligan. So this is one of Spike Milligan's war memoirs. Part number 4, I've read I think all of them at different points. So it's kind of, interesting to read it in that way, just picking them up as and when I see them. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Solid read. Milligan always makes me laugh, and I find the war fascinating as well. I will say this was towards the end of the war, and he spends obviously a lot of time in Italy, hence Mussolini, which is probably my least like, I don't want to say favourite, but the part of the war that interests me the least. But still, it's Spike Milligan. I mean, come on, the cracking writer, very funny. He would get the shit cancelled out of him today, but that's okay. So there we have it. Those are all of the books that I read in October 2024. As always, don't forget to let me know in the comments if you've read any of these, and if so, what you thought of them. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button for more, and I will see you soon for another bookish video. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.